The Dollmaker's Last Order. Back in 98, if you asked anyone in Derry about Carl Winslow, they'd tell you two things. One, he made the most beautiful dolls in the entire state of Maine. Two, don't go near his house after dark. Carl was old, pushing 80, and he walked like a man with ghost in his knees. He lived alone in a peeling two-story house on Harper Street not far from Old Sawmill, and every room smelled like wood shavings and stale grief. The locals said his wife died in the 70s and that he never quite got over it. They whispered things about the dolls, how they looked a little too real, like they were breathing when you weren't looking. People whisper a lot of things in small towns. Most of it is most of it is bullshit. It was November when the letter came. Not email, an honest to God letter, sealed with wax. Weird thing was there was no stamp, no return address, just there one morning in the mail slot. Carl opened it with the same tired hands that had carved over 300 dolls. The note inside was short, but every word pressed heavy. Make her exactly. She is not lost. She is only waiting. Inside was a photograph. A little girl, maybe 7, blue eyes, straight brown hair, a red ribbon on the right side. Something about her expression gave Carl a jolt, like deja vu mixed with dread. That night, a box arrived. It was full of money, neat, unmarked bills, tens of thousands. The order had been placed. Carl started the way he always did, a fresh block of maple and a cigarette he wouldn't smoke, just rolled between his fingers. But something was different this time. The wood seemed ready, like it had been waiting too. He carved every night, sometimes forgetting to eat. His hands shook, not from age but from something else, like they weren't entirely his anymore. The face came first, those big blue eyes, that little button nose, the almost smile that looked sweet in the photo but turned sad once it was in wood. He heard things too, whispers that flitted through the house like draft wind. Little girl laughter, a lullaby he didn't know but couldn't stop humming. The doll sat upright on his workbench when he came back from dinner one night. He could have sworn that he left her lying down. The knock came just after midnight, not loud, just 3 slow taps, like someone knocked with their knuckles wrapped in cloth. On his porch stood a girl. The girl, alive, or something like alive. She was wet from the rain but didn't shiver. She smiled like she knew him, even though they had never met. "I've been waiting, Mr. Winslow," she said, voice soft and flat. "You made me perfect." She walked right past him and into the workshop. The doll sat on the bench, looking just like her. They looked at each other for a long time. Then she touched it. Carl stepped back. The air changed. He could feel it in his bones, in his feelings. The girl began to flicker like a bad reception on an old TV set. She coughed once, hard, and when she opened her mouth, a puff of sawdust floated out. Her skin turned pale, then paler, then porcelain white. Her limb grew stiff, her head tilted at a wrong angle. Meanwhile, the doll's chest rose. It breathed. It blinked. The little girl's sword had jumped back in. Or maybe something else had come through. Either way, the transformation was done. and the thing now was sitting on the bench wasn't a doll anymore. Carl sat down on the floor. He felt the truth bloom in his chest like a tumor. He hand carved a toy. He carved a doorway, and someone on the other side had walked through. The girl smiled again, but this time her smile was wrong. Too many teeth, no innocence in her eyes. She's free now, the thing whispered, and now it's your turn to keep her place. He tried to run, but his legs didn't move. His skin felt tight, splintered. The last thing he saw before the darkness took him was his own reflection. Smooth, wooden, carved in terror. The next morning, folks in Derry saw something strange in the workshop window. A brand new doll. This one looked exactly like old Carl Winslow. Eyes wide open, mouth frozen mid-scream, and seated next to it on a little stool in a red ribbon and a blue dress was a smiling girl brushing its hair. The sign on the door simply read, "Commissions closed for now." If you survived this tale, subscribe for more true horror stories shared every week. Have a nightmare of your own? Drop it in the comments, and you might just hear your fear come to life. Once upon a mic.